Brought to you by Penguin.
Underground Empire: How America Weaponized the Global Economy, by Henry Farrell and Abraham Newman. Read by L.J. Ganser.
Introduction. All roads lead to Rome. It's easy to descend into the underground empire. There are entrances everywhere. Some of them are even signposted. In the Washington, D.C. area, where both of us live, the multi-lane artery of Route I-66 connects the Virginia suburbs to the capital city of the United States. Smaller roads diverge from it toward the Pentagon and the CIA's headquarters in Langley. Route I-66 passes through the Beltway, which loops around the city toward Fort Meade, where the spies and hackers of the National Security Agency, NSA, and U.S. Cyber Command go to work. The road terminates in Foggy Bottom, the home of the U.S. Department of State, a few blocks away from the U.S. Department of the Treasury and the White House. These buildings are the surface manifestations of American empire. Some were designed for public display. The White House and Department of the Treasury have Palladian facades, constructed according to principles descending from the Roman architect Vitruvius, who began as an engineer in Julius Caesar's army. Others are built from reinforced steel and concrete for more utilitarian purposes, barricaded behind fences, cameras, and armed guards. All are connected to the underworld. Every empire's architecture of rule and display would fall into ruin were it not joined to a filigree of tunnels and pipes, conveying resources and information like the mycelium that spreads out from a mushroom through the surrounding soil. The threads of empire operate in both directions, spreading influence and power outward as they gather resources to the center. The rulers of the ancient world built their capitals from stones like porphyry and marble. Their living empires were made out of more everyday stuff, the trade routes, grain ships, and aqueducts that tied towns, cities, and countryside in a densely connected web of economic activity. Imperial Rome built a network of roads that allowed merchants to convey their wares as well as legions to march quickly across provinces. When a traveler entered the empire from the hinterlands, they departed a world of villages and winding cattle tracks for one of trading cities, joined by long, straight thoroughfares that carried both commerce and coercion. Many centuries after the empire had fallen, a medieval proverb maintained that all roads lead to Rome. The infrastructures that Rome built still casts a shadow on the modern economy. History is lazy. Once something has been built, it is easier to build on top of it. Highways in France and Italy follow routes that were decreed by an imperial censor thousands of years ago. In modern times, much of the real business of empire has moved underground. American imperium still uses military power to keep surface trade routes open, deploying the U.S. Navy to patrol global sea lanes. But American power also travels along buried fiber optic cables, insinuating itself into networks like the Internet and the complex financial infrastructures used by banks to send money around the world. Beneath the open markets that facilitate global trade and manufacturing lies a less tangible network of intellectual property and technological expertise. Again, this provides American leaders with unparalleled levers of control. These world-spanning systems were not created as part of a deliberate plot for political domination. They were mostly built by private companies, pursuing efficiency and profit. But that was also true of older empires, whose legionaries often followed in the footsteps of their merchants. Modern empire has turned the subterranean machineries that enable global markets and information flows, fiber optic cables, server farms, financial payment systems, and the manufacturing systems that produce complex products, such as semiconductors, into tools of coercion. On a casual glance, these systems seem simultaneously dull and arcane, the complicated wiring and plumbing arrangements of the global economy. But the plumbing is political. Just as all roads once led to Rome, the world's fiber optic networks, financial systems, and
Sample complete. Ready to continue?